All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle a question that I swear drives so many local business owners crazy.
So, picture this. You're doing everything right. You give amazing service, you're constantly asking customers for feedback, and you've got this great star rating to show for it. But then you go and search for your own services, and there's your competitor with way fewer reviews sitting right above you on Google Maps. They're literally getting the calls that should be coming to you. It's so frustrating, right? But why does this happen? Most of us think Google Maps is just a popularity contest. It's this simple race to see who can rack up the most reviews. And it kind of makes sense, right? The business with the most feedback should be the most popular, and, well, they should get the top spot.
But we all know that's not how it works in the real world. A lot of the time, the company with the biggest number isn't the one sitting at number one. Honestly, this is a massive misconception, and it's costing good businesses a ton of calls and a ton of jobs.
Okay, check this out. This is a perfect real-world example. You've got business A with over 4,700 reviews. That's a huge number, but they're stuck down at number 5. And then there's business B with just around 500 reviews, chilling at the number 1 spot. This right here proves it. The game is not just about stacking up the highest count.
So here's the bottom line. Having a ton of reviews is fantastic for convincing customers to actually call you. That's your conversion. But it's not the main thing that gets you seen in the first place. That's visibility. And something else is pulling the strings when it comes to your ranking.
So to figure this out, we need to pull back the curtain and see what Google's algorithm is actually looking at. It's not just sitting there counting your reviews. It's way more complex. It's weighing all these different signals to figure out who's the most relevant and trustworthy result for the person searching. And the number one undisputed heavyweight champion of all these ranking factors? It's proximity. It's really that simple. How physically close is your business to the person doing the search? If somebody's looking for a plumber near me, Google's top priority is, you guessed it, showing them plumbers who are actually near them. And just look at how much this matters. We're talking 30 to 40% of the entire ranking decision is based on proximity alone. That's huge. And it's exactly why a business that's just a few blocks closer to the person searching can leapfrog a competitor with way more reviews. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look at reviews. All those different signals from your reviews, the total number, how good they are, how recent they are, all of that together makes up about 15% of the decision. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a really important piece of the puzzle, but it's less than half as important as just being physically close. And this is really the most important thing to get from all of this. You can't just pick up your shop and move it every time someone searches, right? You can't control where your customers are. That big chunk, that 30 to 40%, is pretty much out of your hands. But that 15% from reviews, that is 100% within your control. And learning how to master it is how you start to climb the ranks. So how do we make that 15% work as hard as it possibly can for us? Well, it all comes down to focusing on 3 specific signals that Google cares about way, way more than just your total review number. First up, and maybe the most important, is something called review velocity. And this has nothing to do with how many reviews you have. It's all about how often you're getting new ones. It's about consistency. Think about it like a brand new restaurant. If a giant crowd shows up on opening night, but then it's a ghost town forever after, that looks kind of sketchy, right? But what about a restaurant that has a steady, consistent line of people waiting every single day? That tells you the place is popular, it's relevant, and it's good right now. Well, Google looks at your reviews the exact same way. A huge burst of reviews and then crickets for months? That looks unnatural. But a steady, predictable drip of fresh feedback, that signals a healthy, active, and trusted business. Signal number 2 is all about the quality and, this is so important, the actual words inside your reviews. Yeah, a 5-star rating is great, but what the customer takes the time to write, that is absolute gold for your ranking. So what does quality even mean to an algorithm? Well, first off, your star rating is like a gatekeeper. If someone searches for the best plumber, Google often just filters out any business below a 4.0 rating. It's also interesting that the real sweet spot for trust is usually between 4.2 and 4.9 stars. A perfect 5.0 can sometimes look a little fake. But here's the real kicker. Google reads the text. When a customer writes, "They came out and fixed our burst pipe in an hour," they've just screamed to Google that you are a perfect result for anyone else searching for help with a burst pipe. Those keywords in the reviews are everything. And the third signal, this is the one that so many businesses just completely forget about. It's your own replies to the reviews people leave you. And this isn't just about being polite. It's a direct signal you're sending to Google.
No joke, Google has come right out and said it. Responding to your reviews improves your local SEO. So why is that? Because it shows them you're an active, engaged business that actually cares about what your customers think. An owner who takes the time to reply is always going to look more trustworthy than one who just lets their profile collect dust. It's probably the easiest win you can get.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway here? It's actually really simple. It's about shifting your focus. Stop chasing this huge, ever-growing number of total reviews. Instead, focus on the quality and the consistency of the feedback you're getting.
Let's boil it all down to 3 easy steps. Number 1, create a system to get a steady flow of new reviews coming in every single week. That's your velocity. Number 2, when you ask for that review, gently encourage your customers to mention the specific work you did for them. That gives you that juicy review content. And number 3, block out a little time each week to reply to every single review, good and bad. That shows Google you're paying attention.
And look, the goal here isn't to game the system or find some secret trick. It's about building real, genuine signals that show both Google and your future customers that you're a trustworthy, active, and high-quality business. And when you do that, the natural result is you get seen more often. And that leads directly to what we all want, more calls and more booked jobs.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. What's one small, tiny change you could make this week to start getting a more consistent flow of customer feedback? Maybe it's a simple text message you send out, or a little QR code on your invoice. Just one small thing.
I really hope this cleared up some of the confusion around Google reviews. If you want more practical tips on how to get more calls and book more jobs, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel.
And hey, if you'd rather just have a team of experts handle all this for you so you can focus on running your business, feel free to check us out at propermarketers.com. Thanks so much for watching.